Okay, so first things first, I have, I think, three more people to give out $20 to over the next 6 weeks. Just anybody randomly who posts anything on their story tagging Frequency Fitness, whether that's like a yummy meal that you've made, a little gym selfie, maybe a picture of the coaching calls that we're doing, anything at all. If you post it on your story and you tag Frequency, I'm giving out $20 randomly to three more people. So that's fun. That's exciting. Also, if you have anybody sign up for Frequency and they mention your name as a referral, you get $100, they get $100. What? That's awesome. And if you get three people, I'll double it. So you'll get literally $600. This could literally be your side gig. So I would recommend it. Okay. All right. Let me start sharing my screen. Hey, Jill. Glad to have you here. Love to see your pretty face. Okay, this is gonna be a fun one because I feel like this is probably gonna be maybe a little bit different than maybe what you could have possibly been expecting. I don't know. So 3 ways to stay fit for life. And this is just so important because obviously a lot of things that I feel like kind of float around in like the fitness world, especially on social media and TikTok and all that. And even, years ago in like the magazines and commercials and whatever, it's all about like the quick fix. And that kind of like, fortunately for people like me, I think a lot of people are kind of getting sick and tired of that. It's like, okay, well, now we've done keto, we've done, Weight Watchers, we've done Ozempic, we've done whatever. And we just either keep ending up back at square one or literally in a worse spot than before. So I think a lot of people are like, how the hell do I get fit and then stay fit for life? I don't want any crash diet. I don't want to feel like shit. And I sure as hell do not want to end up in the same spot again next year and the year after. So one of the biggest things that I see that I'm telling you is not healthy, it's not helping, and it will absolutely be a huge reason that's going to prevent you from being fit for a long time is if you have a poor relationship with food. Okay, so food is always going to be in your life, like literally every single day for the rest of your life, multiple times per day. This relationship is just as important as having like healthy romantic relationships or healthy friendships in your life. I'm sure you can probably put a lot of importance on like how important it is to have a good, healthy relationship with your parents while you're growing up, or have a, one best friend that you can rely on, or to make sure that you're not in a toxic, abusive, controlling relationship, right? We can all understand like how that will absolutely affect everything in your life, but in relating that, it's really just as important, dare I say, perhaps even more important, to make sure you have a healthy relationship with food. Okay, so making sure that just like an abusive partner, that a donut or a cookie isn't controlling your entire life or your entire day. And if it is, if you're noticing like, okay, wow, I had a cookie for lunch and it's literally all I can think about, or when I, have a couple beers on Memorial Day and I show up for my check-in on Monday, it's all I can think about is that shame, that guilt. I feel like I have to make up for it. I feel like I'm starting back at square one. If these little things have such a big control over you and your thoughts, there's a lot of work to do in this department, and that's okay, right? That's okay. There's a lot of us that deal with that. I absolutely have dealt with that in the past, and I think it's always a work in progress. Just like any other relationship, just because you have a healthy relationship with your partner right now doesn't mean it wouldn't be beneficial to make sure that you guys go on weekly dates, or you have open communication, and just focus on making the relationships in your life that are important to you healthy. And one with food is a huge factor of if you're going to be able to stay fit or stay healthy for life. So having awareness and education around foods, the benefit of foods, specific nutrients, what they do and provide for the body, whether that's micronutrients and like vitamins and minerals, or macronutrients like protein, carbs, and fats, understanding that all of those things have a benefit to you. So if you are thinking that carbs are bad, fats are bad, rather than understanding what do carbs do for your brain? What do carbs do for your cortisol levels? What do carbs do for your muscles? What do fats do for your vitamin absorption? What do fats do for your hormones? All of that, understanding the benefits of food, and as well as understanding your own eating habits, meaning tracking your food, logging, how you feel if anything makes you feel bloated, logging how you feel after specific foods or after eating out every once in a while, or how you feel, cooking at home versus like whatever. Logging, paying attention, and actually looking at your food and your patterns is going to empower you. Okay, learning about the benefits of food, tracking your food, looking at your own habits is not going to create a bad relationship with food. I think tracking gets such a bad habit, probably because if you've ever tracked and you got a bad, taste in your mouth from looking at food as numbers, you probably were just doing it to restrict yourself, right? If we can just log our food, look at our patterns, our habits, and use that to empower us and to educate us, you're gonna heal your relationship with food, like truly. Food is fuel. That's where we get all of our vitamins, our minerals, our nutrients, our life force, our energy. That's how we stay alive. There's so much benefit to food, and understanding why each thing it benefits you is going to be so important. I like to kind of compare it to like a bank account, those moments where you're like, if I just don't check my bank account, then it doesn't hurt me if you kind of know that maybe things are not going too well over there. But what's going to be the most beneficial is looking at exactly how much money you have, setting a budget, having some kind of game plan, maybe hiring like a financial advisor or whatever that is. That's actually what's going to help you, not keeping a blind eye to things. And I think a lot of people take that approach with food. The next thing, number 2, is going to be your relationship with weight. Why can't I read this? Or your body composition. Okay, so basically the scale, okay, your relationship with the scale. So most women have been programmed to be obsessed with the scale, okay, thinking that a certain number is what makes them fat or skinny or hot or attractive. Newsflash, the scale is literally just tracking how much gravity is on you, period. Your body weight does not indicate your body composition. Okay, you can be 150 pounds of pure body fat and absolutely unhealthy, maybe have diabetes, whatever it is. Or you could be 150 pounds and be absolutely shredded, have the best body composition, the healthiest shape of your life, whatever that is. Stepping on a bikini competition stage, I don't know. Okay, so body weight does not indicate your body composition, doesn't indicate how much muscle mass you have on you, how much fat you have on you. It also does not indicate fat loss. So as I work with clients, a lot of times we can literally see fat loss, yet the scale hasn't moved at all. Body weight also does not indicate overall health, your metabolism, your hormones, or your worth. Okay, so you are not a better, cooler, happier person if your weight is 120 versus 140. Okay, so no one's going to give you an award, a prize, and I promise your own self-worth is not going to improve. You're not going to, become happier because of a number on the scale. If anything, you're probably just going to, again, make this relationship with the scale, with your weight, worse, and then therefore prevent yourself from actually being fit and healthy for life. I also really need to remind everybody that your dream body probably weighs more than you think. Find your favorite fitness influencer, your dream body type, whoever it is, on Instagram or TikTok or an athlete. I can pretty much guarantee you that they probably weigh more than you think. And they probably weigh more than whatever this goal body weight is that maybe you've been obsessed with since you were in high school or middle school or something, okay? Me and Sheena, who is the other coach here, she also, we get a lot of clients like that. And we get a lot of clients who will come saying that they want to look like us, or they want to have, abs like us, or, glutes like Sheena, or whatever that is. And then they also want to make sure that they are 115 pounds or they're 125 pounds. Me and Sheena are both over 140 pounds. Okay. So then clients come to us and they're like, oh my gosh, the scale is 140 pounds, 150 pounds. And it's like, okay, well, what are we going for here? Are we going for weight loss, or are we trying to change your body composition? Because if we can just get rid of your attachment to the scale, we can guarantee again that you'll be able to be fit for life, rather than feeling like you're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back because all you're relying on is the scale. Being toned just means having enough muscle mass on you and having your body fat low enough to be able to see it. You will not get toned if you do not strength train. You will not get toned if you don't focus on building muscle mass. That's what being toned is having muscle and having definition, and then being lean enough to be able to see it. Okay, but the first step has to be growing that lean muscle mass, and it's pretty hard to grow a muscle if you're in a deficit for your entire life. Muscle mass weighs a lot. Not only does it weigh a lot in general, but it weighs more than fat. So again, you can change your entire body composition, and either 1, maybe the scale won't move at all, or 2, maybe the scale goes up. And if the scale is controlling your mental health or dictating your life, you're not setting yourself up to be fit for life. You're setting yourself up to be more stressed. You're setting yourself up to have an obsession with this completely irrelevant thing and ignoring true health, probably ignoring what your true goal is. Okay, so this is a huge one that I see. And then third, to be fit for life, you gotta build some muscle. So muscle health plays a massive role in longevity, quality of life and length of life. There's so many studies proving that anyone that's ever lived over the age of 100, or even just, kind of the people who die in their 90s versus the people who die in like their 70s, it's always the people who have more muscle mass on them, like period. Also, men naturally live longer than women. The only reason that any scientist has ever figured out why is literally just because men tend to have more muscle mass on them. Muscle mass improves metabolic health, regulates blood sugar, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Muscle mass and also just the act of strength training increases bone density and reduces the risk of osteoporosis or fractures, functional independence. So if you have more muscle on you, you can basically guarantee that you'll be able to do stuff by yourself longer. You won't be in a wheelchair. You won't be in a cane. You won't have to go into a nursing home. You won't have to rely on your kids or your husband or whoever to take care of you, which maybe it's not something you're worried about right now, but I promise if we don't focus on building muscle mass now, you will not be one of those people who are truly fit for life. And it's going to be too late. We know if you get to that point, it's going to be not too late, but a much harder, much easier to build muscle now than it is when you're 50, when you're 60. Functional independence is essential. Muscle strength is essential for daily activities, carrying groceries, walking upstairs, preventing falls and injuries. Muscular strength naturally does decrease with age, mainly because in America we have such a sedentary lifestyle. So is it like the age alone that's decreasing strength, or is it, years of sitting at a desk, not moving, not strength training that decreases muscle mass? That's up for debate there. So actively combating that and fighting that curve is essential. As well as muscle mass is a way to prevent disease. Higher muscle mass is associated with lower risk of chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, which, heart, whatever that is. What is it? What am I thinking of? Heart something, whatever. Cardiovascular things are obviously like the highest, reason that people die nowadays. So of course, having more muscle mass on you will prevent that, as well as obesity and dementia. So anything kind of like cognitive related, muscle helps that. Strength training helps that, which I just think is so beneficial. Like not only are you strengthening your muscles, strengthening your bones, increasing your metabolism, but you're literally also thickening your brain and the parts of your brain that diminish when you get dementia. So super important. As well as enhanced immune function. I was writing this pretty quickly, I suppose. And then mental health. So the more muscle mass you have on you, it's been proven to just naturally be a happier person, improve your mood, reduce anxiety, reduce depression. It's been proven time and time again that literally exercise is the strongest form of antidepressant and antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication that we have. As well as enhancing cognitive function. You'll be able to retain memory better, have better word recall, all of that. So yeah, that's my little presentation. Any comments, questions, concerns? Oh my gosh, Katie's here. How's
Girl, I don't mess with the scale like that.
how's special?
Not anymore.
Period. Not anymore. I love that. A keto survivor.
Keto survivor, and some days I still will weigh in the same weight as when I started training, which
Yeah.
is so crazy.
That is really crazy. And if anybody's seen Katie's transformation, it's absolutely wild, lost inches all around. And the
Same
scale
weight.
hasn't changed. Yeah, same weight, which is just so silly.
So silly.
So silly. Anybody else? Comments, questions, concerns?
Just seconding that, I'm so glad I got rid of the scale. I have one and I check it occasionally, but I feel like I've been overweight my entire life and I was so attached to getting to a certain number, and every time the scale wouldn't move, I would get discouraged and I would just stop. And maybe a year or so ago, I stopped weighing myself and I just focused on more fitness goals, mobility goals, and I started seeing all these changes, and it's just been really fun to see now that I'm not focused on that, how things are actually moving.
Yes, totally. I don't know what the science is behind that, but I fully agree. I saw it with myself and I see it with my clients that literally if you stop paying attention to the scale and hyperfixating on even just the physique results and focus more on how you feel, how you perform, it's suddenly those results that you were striving for so long actually come. I don't know if that's the law of attraction or some shit. I don't know, but it absolutely. So love that. Spin facts, Miss Jill. Anybody else? Oh, Jill, it's saying, about watching water boil. Yeah, right. Yeah, literally. Yep. All right, cute. Well, thanks, guys. I think that's all I got for you. I'll be going out of town tomorrow, but I'll have my phone on me, so I will still be working. Don't you worry. Send me voice memos, messages. Let me know how your guys' week is going. But thanks for showing up, and I'll see you next week. Bye.